Hi, welcome to my little office where all the journal magic happens. I'm going to show you my favorite ways to journal for manifesting with the law of attraction, reflecting on my life, brain dumps, and a little more. These are my 3 journals, one for feelings, law of attraction, and shadow work. So first I'm going to show you how I go about making my law of attraction pages. Welcome to my Law of Attraction journal where I do a lot of my manifesting, and this is just a notebook that Laura Mercier sent me and it says Laura Mercier in the front, so I just took a sticky note and wrote Dear Universe, love Raimi, and I taped that bad boy right to the front, and now it's my Law of Attraction journal, and that was a story you didn't ask for. I always put the date in the corner for reminiscing purposes in a few months. I'm going to be making 3 sections and I like to block them off using sticky notes just because it helps me feel organized and adds a cutie element. And I like to use this fat set of tape that I got from Amazon. There's like a bunch of patterns and colors just to spice things up a little bit. I like to start with gratitude. When manifesting things into your life, it's so important to be grateful for what you already have and to try to shift into an abundance mindset. I like to write mine in little bullet points, but honestly do whatever feels right for you. Write about what you're grateful for right now, the tiny things that you take for granted every day, and even be grateful for the things that you're going to receive in the future. I feel like showing gratitude helps our energies vibrate at a higher frequency. You can't receive things if you're not fulfilled with what you already have, because the truth is, no matter how much we have in this life, as humans, we will find something to be grumpy about. So it's important to be grateful for the little things and not have like that grass is greener on the other side mentality. This is me blanking because I can't figure out what to write next, and I used to feel really bad about this, but I wanted to leave this in. I almost cut it out, but I'm leaving it in to show you that this is super normal and it doesn't mean that you're not grateful enough. It's okay to blank. Humans do that, and you'll figure out what to write in a minute. So yeah. Don't feel bad about it. I'm gonna read you some of my favorite bullet points from today, but pause and read the others if you want to. I am grateful for my willingness to grow, change, and evolve for the better. I am grateful for all that I have and all that I do not have. And I threw in, I am grateful for my beautiful body because I do not give her enough love. I cut up the sticky part of a post-it note for this next section, which is release. This is where I just let go and release all of the things that have been weighing me down for the past few days. And of course, adding some more cute tape just because, why not? I'm the kind of person that can easily fall into the habit of overthinking and beating myself up for things that I can't change, or just like holding on to things that have really been bothering me instead of like releasing them and working through them. So I added this release section and it's helped me so much. It feels really good to have a way of just like writing whatever is bothering me and that I don't want to live in my body anymore. And it's like once I put it on the paper, it doesn't belong to me for that day, and I don't know, it just feels good. Here are a few of my favorite release bullet points from today. I release habits that no longer serve me or my goals. I release anxiety I've been holding in my body and soul, and any negativity people may be trying to send my way. And time for the star of the show, which is the manifestation section where I write I am statements, affirmations, and I just attract and write everything that I want to attract into my life as if it's already here. And I do write pretty personal things in this space, but for this video, I didn't write anything super personal because honestly, you have to be careful who you tell your manifestations to because not everyone has their best interest for you, so yeah, be careful with that. But I still wrote some pretty good ones for you guys to use if you're looking for any. Here are some manifestations that I wrote today. I make progress towards my goals constantly. I radiate love and light to others, and others radiate love and light back to me. I have a healthy and nourishing routine. I never worry about money because I am a money magnet and money flows into my life with ease. I am motivated and energized. My path is aligned perfectly with everything I want. And to finish this page off and kind of seal it, I write, Dear Universe, I trust you, I believe in you, and I love you. Love, Raimi. For a little recap of this page, I always do gratitude, release, and then manifestations, and just seal it off with my little note to the universe, and that's pretty much how I do my law of attraction pages. It's pretty simple and really cute looking. But my pages only look like that on days that I have time for it. Usually on the day to day or week to week, it looks like this, and that's okay. It's just regular writing, no post-it notes, no tape, and there's still just the gratitude, release, and manifestation format. It just doesn't have all of the other stuff, and I think it's just as cute and it works just as good like this. The next way I like to manifest using the law of attraction is by scripting. I titled the page, put the date and time as usual, and scripting is basically writing a story about your life in the way that you want it to be. So I like to write journal entries as if my future self, who is living my dream life, is just casually writing in her journal. So you write as if these things have already happened, and you focus in on how you feel, what you see, what you touch, taste, smell, etc. Today, to give you an example, I'm writing about living in my dream apartment. A year ago, I scripted like this to manifest the apartment that I'm living in right now, which is crazy. I wrote entries about move-in days and regular days like the one I'm writing right now, and I'll read a few sentences to you so you can get the gist. Living in this apartment has been one of my favorite chapters of my life yet. Like today, Sadie, Zach, and I woke up early to such a peaceful, clean, and cute environment. It's so cozy here, and even though life is pretty crazy no matter what, living here does wonders for my mental health. We have our dream decor, everything looks soft, clean, and airy, but still fun, colorful, and unique. It smells sweet here, probably because of my candle and baking obsession. We're super happy here and couldn't be more grateful. Talk soon. We're gonna go have a little picnic on the patio. Love, Raimi. Okay, I ended up reading the whole thing, but hey, at least now you can have a better idea of what scripting is like. And now let's move on. This journal is for my feelings, brain dumps, reflections, diary entries, all of that. I'm going to show you how I set up and fill out these little end of the week reflection and recap pages I came up with. I would do the end of every month, but I can't remember a whole month of my life at a time, so weekly pages are easier for me. I also always have stickers laying around, so it's nice to dress these pages up a little. I'll give you the page setup before I explain each section, but I like to start off by asking my two favorite questions. What gave me energy and what drained my energy this week? And the next section is themes, where I draw really horribly drawn rectangles that are kind of rounded. I make 2 of those. Then I have the reflect section, where I write down habits to let go, what I'm proud of myself for, and then my intentions for the week ahead. This is the overview of the page, and now let's get into what everything means. Under what gave me energy, I write about things that I want to remind myself to keep doing because they help my mental health and they make me feel lighter and happier and just better about myself. And this week, those things were waking up 30 minutes earlier, listening to my body, eating less processed food, talking about myself kindly, and time out in nature. And what drained my energy is, of course, the exact opposite. Things like mindless scrolling, procrastinating, negative self-talk, stressing over things I can't control. Just things that make my heart feel heavy and make it hard for me to feel motivated and just whole. I include this part because I always hope that it'll help me encourage myself to make habits that support my mental health. Next is themes, where I just put in these 2 bubbles themes that I noticed that were overarching over the past week, and it's honestly just to give myself some things to think about. This week I felt lost after putting too much pressure on myself, but out of that came me finding patience with myself and realizing that I wanted to reset my life. And lastly is reflect, where I write 2 habits that I want to let go and 2 things I'm proud of myself for, like a little criticism and also like, hey, you're doing a good job. So I'm working on letting go of not believing in myself and thinking that I don't have time because I just put too much pressure on myself with time and thinking that I can't do certain things when it's really the exact opposite. Time isn't really that real. And I'm proud of myself for respecting my body and making goals this week. I hope you guys can make sure you're recognizing yourself for the amazing things that you do all the time while still being able to criticize yourself in a nice way, in a constructive way where you can let yourself grow and change. Then I set 2 small goals for the week ahead just because I like to have something to look forward to achieving, and I decorate the page a little bit. This is nothing really crazy, but I'm just going to show you this slightly different way that I do brain dumps now. I used to just write everything on the page like with no rhyme or reason and then just leave it like that, and I still kind of do that. I just write whatever's on my mind, word vomit it on the page into little clumps, but the little twist is that I'm like unsettled by having things not organized. Even though it's supposed to be a brain dump. So I just take a few highlighters and I just put everything into little blobs, so it feels like all of the things going on in my brain have a place, like a little home. And for some reason that makes me feel better. So here's what it ends up looking like, and it's not the most perfect thing in the world, but it helps. Alrighty, so this is my shadow work journal, and if you don't know what that is, on the first page of my journal I wrote like a little explanation for what it's for, and I'll read it to you. The purpose of this journal is for me to shine light on the hidden parts of my personality, the things about me that I try to repress because they make me feel sad and wounded. I know working with my shadow self will lead to many positive changes in my life. It's a very interesting concept. I'm pretty new to shadow work, but I'll share what I know. I like to do shadow work with prompts that I find online, and I write them in a Q&A format. The prompts I've done in the past were, if present day me could talk to myself from 7 years ago, I would say, how I spend my days is how I'll spend my life. How do I feel about that? And here are the next few that I plan on doing. Number 3. Who is my highest self? Number 4, my ideal week feels like. Number 5, how do I comfort myself? And number 6, what habit do I want to stop doing the most? So I have this app called Paper, and you can have little digital journals. This is where I plan my Instagram feed. If you're interested in having a cutie feed, then I thought I'd share my little process. This is my digital content ideas journal, and when it's time for me to draw a new month, it looks plain like this. I start by writing the month at the top, and then I make a 12-slot chart that is supposed to mimic how my Instagram grid looks. I always take things way too seriously, so I spend a little bit more time than I should perfecting this little chart. So I made up a little system for my Instagram to kind of go by, and it's AFS. A stands for aesthetic posts, F is full body, and S is selfies / close-ups of myself. And these are the kinds of posts that my Instagram is made up of. I personally love this app because there's so many cool tools like this one. You just put a circle around it and you can like cut it out and move it somewhere else. And I use the same tool to basically copy and paste the letters that I made onto my feed to make a little pattern guide for what it's gonna look like for the month. My feed pattern is pretty simple. Every other post is what I call an aesthetic post, which can be anything from cute little parts of my apartment or outfit close-ups. Doing all of this just makes it easier for me to stay organized and visualize my feed better. I just write down whatever ideas I have in the little boxes, and then once I've checked something off, I just make a little line and mark the date on it, and I'm good to go. I also plan all my reels on the same page, just under everything. I make 12 check boxes and write down all of my ideas, and I just check them off as I go. And that's my little chart for this month. So if you're interested in becoming an influencer or you just want a cute feed, then I hope this helped you a little. That's all for my current journaling habits. I love you guys so much. I hope this helped in some way, and if this encourages you to journal, that is super amazing. It's basically my therapy, but also go to therapy for real if you need it. Love you. Bye.